Visit to Hawthorne Tram Museum. Part 3, Overview of tram models.
Tram models introduced in various times in history. M&MTB passenger tram fleet as at 1960. Note that no trams were built from 1957 to 1972. Source: Cross, Budd and Wilson, 1993.
Hawthorne Tramways Trust California Combination Number 8. Hawthorne Tramways Trust California Combination Number 8. Number 8 began service from Hawthorne Depot shortly after the HTT commenced operations in 1916, working the Burwood, Wattle Park, and Power Street lines. Built by Duncan and Fraser, Adelaide, as a California combination car, central closed saloon with open ends, the design originating from San Francisco cable trams and adapted for electric traction. Number 8 is notably more ornate than its museum contemporary Number 164, featuring a clear-story roof, lead-light windows, and monogrammed luggage racks. When the M&MTB absorbed the HTT in 1920, Number 8 was reclassified as M-Class Number 114, serving until 1930 when it was sold to the Electricity Supply Company of Victoria for Bendigo Tramway service as their Number 3. After the SECV took over Bendigo's tramways in 1934, many redundant Melbourne single-track trams, including this one, were sold to regional systems in Geelong, Bendigo, and Ballarat, with most converted to one-man operation. Right panel, uniquely, Number 8 was never modified by the SECV, retiring from Bendigo in 1956 still largely original. Donated to the Australian Electric Traction Association and then the Tramway Museum Society in 1963. It was loaned to the Victorian State Government in 1992 and fully restored at Preston Workshops to near original condition. Technical specs: 2x53 horsepower WH motors, 38 seated, 57 standing, 12 tons, 9.45 m long, 2.44 m wide. The North Melbourne Electric Tramways and Lighting Company, Open Crossbench Number 13. NMETL Open Crossbench Number 13. Melbourne's oldest surviving electric tram, built in 1906 by J.G. Brill Company, Philadelphia, at its New York subsidiary for the NMETL, operating the Flemington Bridge to Essendon and Maribyrnong lines, reclassified as V-Class Number 214 when the M&MTB absorbed NMETL in 1922. Withdrawn from passenger service in 1925, it hauled ballast on the West Coburg Line construction, was rebuilt as Freight Car 2A in 1927, then renumbered 17 in 1934. As a freight car it transported spare parts between Preston Workshops and running depots, and was further modified in 1959 to carry large advertising panels. In 1978 it was restored by M&MTB Preston Workshops to near original condition as V-Class 214, serving intermittently as a tourist tram before joining the state government's heritage tram fleet. For the 2006 centenary of Melbourne's electric trams, it was repainted in NMETL livery and renumbered back to 13. 2 years later it became the first mobile object listed on the Victorian Heritage Register. Technical specs: originally 2x40 horsepower GE motors. Upgraded to 2x55 horsepower in 1950, 10.3 tons. 50 seated, 9.45 m long, 2.44 m wide. Melbourne Tramway and Omnibus Company. Cable Tram Dummy 28 and Trailer 256. Melbourne Tramway and Omnibus Company, Cable Tram Dummy 28 and Trailer 256. Melbourne's cable trams ran virtually unchanged for 55 years, from the Richmond line opening on the 11th of November 1885 to the last Northcote service on the 26th of October 1940. This pair is representative of the entire fleet. Dummy 28, built 1886, and Trailer 256, built tilde 1887, represent the system at its 1924 peak, when 592 dummies, 539 standard trailers and 58 bogie trailers were in operation. The open, dummy, or grip car housed levers to control the cable grip and brakes, attaching to an underground cable moving at 13 to 21 km per hour. All levers were operated purely by the gripman's physical strength. Gripmen were notably large and strong, commonly recruited into ruck and full forward positions in the VFL. Conductors collected fares by swinging along the outside of the moving tram between the two vehicles. Right panel, cable speed started at 8 miles per hour, 13 km per hour. In 1885 and increased to 13 miles per hour, 21 km per hour, by 1911. Rather than destination signs, trams were color-coded by route. These two are painted yellow for the Turak route. A practical system in an era of low literacy. Both vehicles are owned by the Tramway Museum Society of Victoria on long-term loan to the state government. Technical specs: dummy 28, 20 crush, 2.7 tons, 4.90 m long. Trailer 256, 34 crush, 2.5 tons, 7.21 m long. Victorian Railways luxury car number 53.
Victorian Railways luxury car number 53. Number 53 is the last surviving type of tram built for the VR's broad gauge St Kilda Brighton Beach Tramway. One of three, numbers 52 to 54, built at Newport Workshops in 1942, it used recycled VR electrical components and shared some internal parts with Tate suburban electric train carriages. Based on the M&MTBS SW6 class design then under construction, it represented a significant passenger comfort upgrade over the rest of the VR tram fleet. When the Brighton Beach line closed in 1959, all three were sold to the M&MTB. Numbers 52 to 53 had their broad gauge trucks replaced with standard gauge number 15 trucks, while number 54 was stripped for parts. Number 53 entered M&MTB service in July 1960 from Essendon Depot, mainly on the Footscray Moonay Ponds line, though its central windshield pillar was unpopular with drivers for obstructing forward vision. In 1973 it received marker lights and wider sliding doors for faster loading, and was renumbered 700 in 1976 to avoid clashing with incoming Z1 class numbers. Right panel, withdrawn in September 1980 and donated to the Australian Railway Historical Society, it was displayed at North Williamstown before being restored to VR livery in 2006 for the centenary of Melbourne's electric trams. Since April 2015 it has been on long-term loan to this museum. Technical specs: 4x40 horsepower GE motors. 42 seated, 110 standing, 17.8 tons, 13.72 m long, 2.74 m wide.
Yarra Trams Z1 class number 81, Karachi W.
Yarra Trams Z1 class number 81, Karachi W11. From 1955 to 73 the M&MTB was starved of state government capital funding, building no new trams and not extending its network until the Z-class prototype in 1973. Premier Henry Bolt's retirement opened the way for new tram investment. An order for 100 Z-class trams was placed, partially funded by the Whitlam federal government. Built by Commonwealth Engineering in Dandenong and based on the PCC prototype No. 1041, the first Z-class entered service in 1975 but suffered teething problems. They were poor ride quality and hydraulic brakes jamming in hot weather. This required a full redesign into the Z1 class. Number 81 was the first Z1 in service on the 18th of October 1977, and the previous 80 Z-class trams were later upgraded to the same standard. In 1988 number 81 was also the first tram fitted with hazard lights and door safety signs. No. 81 served Preston, Camberwell and finally Glen Huntly depots across 7 different owners from M&MTB to Yarra Trams, was modified for Metcard ticket machines, and was withdrawn from service in early 2006. Right panel, for the 2006 Commonwealth Games Cultural Festival, number 81 was elaborately decorated by 5 Pakistani artisans in the style of Karachi's W11 minibuses, running as Karachi W11 on the city circle from 14 to 26 March 2006. After periods in storage it entered the Melbourne Tram Museum collection on the 19th of June 2015. Technical specs: 4x57 kilowatts Asia motors. 48 seated, 44 modified, crush load 150, 19.0 tons, 16.60 m long, 2.67 m wide.
Supposed to have Commonwealth Games this year, but the government messed it up.
M&MTB S-Class 164.
164. Built by Duncan and Fraser Limited, Adelaide, in 1916 as part of a 12-tram order for the Melbourne, Brunswick and Coburg Tramways Trust, it entered service as their number 11. The design is a single-truck, California, combination car, a temperate climate compromise between a fully open and fully closed tram, originating from San Francisco's cable car system. It was designed by Struan Robertson, engineer and manager of the MBCTT, who later held the same role at the Hawthorn Tramways Trust. Unlike its Hawthorn contemporary, number 8, it used a simple arch roof rather than a complex clerestory roof, a style that would go on to dominate future tram construction. The S-Class were Melbourne's first trams fitted with air brakes, introducing the iconic "dugga dugga" compressor sound to city commuters. When the M&MTB took over in 1920, it was reclassified as S-Class number 164, serving various depots before being gifted to the Australian Electric Traction Association in 1953. And then it was passing on to the Tramway Museum Society of Victoria in 1963. It joined the Victorian Heritage Tram fleet on long-term loan in 1992. Technical specs: 36-seated, 74 standing passengers, twin GE 241 motors, 55 horsepower each, 13.1 tons, 10.67 m long, 2.44 m wide. Class number 380. The M&MTB needed a cost-effective, high-capacity standardized tram to convert Melbourne's cable tram network to electric traction. The W-Class was the solution, becoming the internationally recognized symbol of Melbourne and eventually spanning 12 major variants and over 750 vehicles. Number 380 was one of 200 original W-Class trams built between 1923 to 26. At the M&MTB's Holden Street workshops, entering service on Christmas Day 1925. Early W-Class trams were also built by James Moore and Holden Bodybuilders of Adelaide. The original W-Class had 3 equal-width canvas-blind doorways, but these proved poor for passenger flow. All 200 were converted to the W2 style drop-center layout, 2 wide, 1 narrow door, between 1928 to 33, with drop-center seats also replaced by back-to-back pairs. Right panel, mechanically simple and robust, W-Class variants remained in Melbourne streets for over 60 years. Number 380 served South Melbourne, Malvern and Kew depots, then Hawthorn's driver training school. Before being restored in 1988 and used on tourist services prior to entering the museum collection. Technical specs: 4x40 horsepower MV motors, 52 seated, 93 standing, 16.8 tons, 14.63 m long, 2.13 m wide.